Okay guys, ever since I got my Atomstack Laser Engraver, I've always connected to it by the default method, by using the computer and connecting to it as an access point. Now, I actually contacted Atomstack to find out if there was any way to set this up to where when I turn it on, it would automatically connect to my network, to where I would not have to plug this Wi-Fi antenna in. Actually, this is a Wi-Fi adapter. It's a USB Wi-Fi adapter that I ended up buying because this computer is connected to my network with a RJ45 cable, or Cat3 cable. It's hardwired, in other words, to my router. It's not Wi-Fi. This machine does not have Wi-Fi on it. So I had to buy this antenna slash Wi-Fi adapter, USB adapter, so that I could access that laser engraver. Now, Atomstack told me that the only way to control that laser engraver was through the app using your phone. Well, I figured it out probably within the first week of having this laser engraver that I was able to use their web interface by connecting to it through the Wi-Fi network. But what I wanted to do was make it to where as soon as you turn it on, it automatically connect to my network, to my router. And I'm going to show you the settings that I changed in order to do that. So I'm going to go, so if you look right now, I do not have any Wi-Fi on this computer. This computer is not Wi-Fi enabled. I do not have my Wi-Fi adapter plugged into this computer. So how am I connecting? How am I, got the web interface up and, able to, see my files on the control board, be able to add files to the unit, delete files, and all that. There's the board version and the firmware. Well, I'm going to show you the settings that I changed in order to make this happen. This is a much better way to connect to your laser engraver. Any computer on your network will be able to connect to the laser engraver through your network very, very easily. You do not have to connect your computer to the laser engraver as an access point. Anyway, let me get set up. I'm going to show you the settings. I'm going to go out and I'm going to turn the laser engraver off so that we can start from scratch and show you how this goes. So what I used to do, and I made a video about how to do this, is whenever I'd have to plug this antenna in. Now you'll see that it will list all the networks that it finds. Now my Atomstack's not going to be listed here because I don't have it in access point mode anymore, and I'm going to show you how to put your Atomstack laser engraver, how to convert it from access point to what they call station mode, so you don't have to worry about connecting up to your laser this way and then opening up your web browser. It'll connect up to your home network. As soon as you turn the laser engraver on, it will connect to your home network, your router, however you got your network set up. And it's a much better way to connect your laser to your network. So the first thing I want to do, first I'm going to show you that we're going to unplug this antenna. You see I just lost all my network, all the networks that a Wi-Fi enabled device would be able to see. So right now this computer is only connected to my home network through my cable. Now you'll notice I've got two shortcuts on my desktop for my Atomstack laser engraver. One says AP. That was the old shortcut that I used whenever I was connecting it up the default way as an access point. The new one says station. So I want to show you this. No, right now my laser engraver is out in the garage where it stays. I do all my light burn work here on my desktop. I'm going to click the station icon, you'll see that it's not going to be able to connect because the laser's not on. So let's go out to the garage. I'm going to turn the laser on and watch how fast it connects up. It's going to automatically connect to my network. My network is going to see it. Okay. And I'll just tell you that usually it takes between 10 to 15 seconds for it to see it. And there it is. By the time I walk back in here, it's already connected. So, how do you do this, you're asking? Oh, and by the way, there's my USB antenna, so I am not connected to any kind of Wi-Fi. This computer's not connected to Wi-Fi, is I guess what I'm trying to get at. There's the network settings. It's connected strictly by the cable. Let's get that antenna out of the way. And I'm going to show you the settings that you have to do, that you have to change to get this to work. So whenever you're here on this screen, you need to be on control, and you've got a window over here, if you notice, that you can actually enter some settings in. Let me zoom in just a little bit to make sure you're going to be able to get all this. And I'm going to go ahead and uncheck auto scroll and verbose mode, I guess is the way that's pronounced. So there's a series of commands that these controllers, this is an ESP32 controller, and there's commands that you can use to see how it's set up. Now, one command just to see your setup right now is $S. When you hit enter, you'll see it's going to show a bunch of settings right here. Now you'll notice that I've got a setting right here that's got my network. That's my Wi-Fi network. It's got a password right here. The IP mode is set to static. It's got an IP address right here, a gateway, a Netmask, and here's the access point settings right here. The ones that have the $AP, and then there's an SSID, it says engraver, then there's password for it, then there's the IP address right here for the access point. I also changed my host name to Atomstack. By default that was Gerbil something, I think. And then right here, radio mode equals STA, that stands for station. By default, that's access point, or it says AP, so that's probably what you're going to see. Now I'm going to go over the settings right now to show you how to do this. The first thing you've got to type in, all your settings are going to be typed in down here on this lower field. You're going to do $ESP110, and you're going to do equals STA. And if you do that right, let me turn verbose mode back on. It should say, when you type that command in, it should say OK. Then you're going to type $ESP112. And what you want to, now if you type without the equals, if you hit enter without the equals, it'll tell you what that value is. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and hit equals, and you're going to see that it says Atomstack. That's what I changed my SSID to, so that I could recognize it on my network. Whenever I see Atomstack, I know that it's my Atomstack engraver. Now I think the default name was Gerbil, the GRBL32 maybe, or something, I can't remember. And it's also a good idea to go ahead and look at your configuration and write down all your default settings. So if you ever needed to go back, you can. Now to change this, you'll see that it shows right here. If you type $ESP112 equals, and then type what you want your laser burner to say. Mine's Atomstack. You could do yours as X20, S20. You could do Atomstack S20, whatever you wanted. The next one's going to be $ ESP102, and that's going to be, you're going to do equals. I always do plus first. I don't know why. It's just habit. And you're going to do static. And again, it should come back and say OK. As long as it recognizes that command, it'll come back and it'll say OK. So that's what you want. The default setting for this is DHCP. The reason you don't want to keep it as DHCP is because it will assign its own IP address on your network whenever it connects to it. The problem with that is you're not going to know what the IP address is. You can find it out if you log into your router and see what all's logged into the router. You'll be able to find it, but you don't want to have to do that every time. So if you do static, it will keep the same IP address. That's one of the things we're going to also assign it through this command, is we're going to tell it what IP address to always use. But the next command that we're going to put in here, the next setting we're going to change, $ESP100, and I'm not going to type this in, but I'm going to let you see what I changed mine to. You would do equals, and then you would type whatever your network, whatever you want, whatever your actual network name is. So you'll see here, this is my network name, Newkirk space 2.4G. So whatever your network name is on your Wi-Fi network, make sure it is typed exactly that way. If you've got a space, make sure your space is in there. If anything's capitalized, make sure it's capitalized. It's going to have to be exact for it to be able to connect to it. The next thing, $ESP101, you're going to do equals, and what that's going to be is your password. So you're going to do $ESP101 equals, and whatever your password is on your network. For you to log onto your network, you're going to need to know the SSID that you're connecting to and the password to be able to connect. So, you know, if you're trying to get your phone to connect to your Wi-Fi network, whatever that network name is and whatever password you put in to connect to your Wi-Fi network, that's what you put in here. Again, your password has to be exactly the correct password. Your SSID or your network name that you're connecting to has to be exactly the correct name. Otherwise, if it's just one digit off, will not connect. So make sure those two things are correct. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put $STA/IP. Now this is the IP address that you want your laser engraver to be assigned, so that you know whenever you type the address in your browser, it knows what IP address to find and to pull up. Basically, all this is a web UI. It's basically a website that you need to connect to, and on your own personal network. I hope that made sense. That this is a built-in site that is built into the ESP32 laser controller to allow you to control it. So I've got $STA/IP. Now what you're going to do, you're going to do equals, and you're going to type the IP address that you want your laser to be. My IP address is 192.168.1.46, and I'm not going to do equals. I'm just going to hit enter, and it will show you what the IP address is. So here's my IP address for that my laser engraver is always assigned. Since it's a static IP address, it's always assigned this. So that shortcut on my desktop, it goes to this IP address right here. That's how it knows how to connect. Now the next thing you've got to do, there's only two other settings and then we're done. $STA / gateway. Now I'm going to show you how to find the gateway. The only two settings left is the gateway and the Netmask, Subnet Mask, and I'll show you how to find both those. Very easy. There's two different ways. I'll show you both of them. First, I'm going to go ahead and hit enter to this $STA / gateway. What you're going to do is you're going to put equals and you're going to put the gateway of your network. Now I'm just going to hit enter so that you can see what the gateway is on mine. And it's actually, this gateway I think is pretty much a default gateway on most routers. But you can see it's 192.168.1.1. That's the gateway. Now we're going to go $STA / netmask. Now you're going to do equals and you're going to put the netmask. I'm not going to change mine, so I'm just going to leave the equals off, and I'm going to hit enter so that you can see what the netmask is. On mine it's 255.255.255.0. And that's it. Once you do all that, your laser burner will then be what they call in station mode. Shut it down, start it back up, and it should connect to your router, and at that point you'll be able to log into it just like this. Now, to find your Netmask and gateway, if you log into your router and you go to LAN, this is an ASUS router. Your router is going to obviously be different than this unless it's the same exact one that I've got, which is an ASUS RT AC 1900. But you can see right here where it says IP address, that's actually the gateway. This subnet mask, there's the subnet mask. Now you can also do this. Type command down here for search, not command, but CMD. It'll bring just the the Microsoft command prompt up. Whoop. And you're going to type IP config, and you'll see right here subnet mask 255.255.255 and then default gateway 192.168.1.1, and that will be your subnet mask and your default gateway, which is what you're going to end up putting over here for the settings. So now, as you can see, I don't have to plug that antenna in. I don't have to connect to the laser burner. And if you're on a laptop or desktop, if your computer that you work on is connected to your Wi-Fi, and that's how you get on the internet and everything, well, when you connect to your laser burner by the default access point method, you are no longer connected to the internet. So now if you wanted to pull something up on the internet or do any of that stuff or get on your network, now you've got to disconnect from your access point on the laser burner and then reconnect to your network. You don't have to do that anymore using this method. Now, so right now that laser burner is connected to my network. It's not acting as an access point. And what that allows me to do is at any time that I am ready to connect to it, I just click it and it loads right up. I can now go over here to the SD file part, and this is the way I use my burner. So I'll design all my stuff I want to burn here in my office, and then I pull this page up and then I send it to the burner, and then I go out there and make sure it's all lined up and everything, and then I hit start. Now you still at this point cannot connect Lightburn to the laser burner. Until Lightburn finally builds that into their system, you're not going to be able to do it, unfortunately. Anyway, this video is probably getting long enough, but that's all you got to do. And to make sure that you had all your stuff set right, when you're completely done with it, just type $S, and then if you scroll up, you will see the SSID. Now let me uncheck auto scroll. You'll see your SSID, you'll see your password. Of course, it's going to be starred out. IP mode should say static. It should have the IP address that you put in there. There's your gateway, there's your subnet mask. And then access point should all still be the same as long as you don't change any of that. Your host name will be whatever you change yours to. I changed mine to Atomstack. And I think the rest of this I just left alone. And I will put in the description the settings that I just went over on this. So if you need to copy and paste, you'll be able to do that. Anyway, just real quick, I hope it was quick, demonstration on how to change your Atomstack laser burner from access point to station, so as soon as you turn it on, it will automatically connect to your Wi-Fi, and you can pull your web UI up right here and start working with it. Okay, so the last thing you're going to want to do once you get all your settings changed and you've rebooted your laser engraver is you want to create a shortcut here on your desktop. Very easy to do. What you're going to do is when you open a browser up, well, let me just open a blank browser. Now I use Google Chrome. You can probably use about any browser. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to type just right here in the address field 192.168.146. When it connects up, you're going to go up here to the right top. You got three little dots up here. You're going to click that. You're going to go down to More Tools. You're going to hit Create Shortcut. It's going to open up a little dialog box, and you're going to type in whatever you want the name to be. I've already got the name Atomstack. Well, actually I don't. I've got Atomstack AP and Atomstack Station. So I'm going to hit Create. I'm going to show you what this does. I'm going to go ahead and close out the web interface here. And right here is the shortcut that we just created. Now, it doesn't have the same icon because these are custom icons that I actually made over here on both my permanent links. So if you want a different icon, you can just right click it. You can go down to Properties, go to Change Icon. You can get to this default menu of icons and you can select from there. But you've got your shortcut, and if you double click it, bam, as long as your laser engraver is turned on, it should connect up automatically. You don't have to create you don't have to hook up to it as an access point. It is basically a website on your network as long as the engraver is turned on. Anyway, this video is long enough. You guys take care. Hope this will help some people. A lot of people have been wanting to get their laser engravers to be able to connect up like this, and I think we finally are going to be able to do that. And again, when I contacted Atomstack to get some kind of input on any kind of settings that I could change, they had no clue as to what I was talking about. They said in their email back to me, the only way to connect and control the laser engraver was through their app. From your phone, or I guess you could probably use a iPad or something. But they had no idea. They don't even know about this web interface right here. They don't know that you can connect up to it from a computer. So, needless to say, they had no idea on what settings needed to be changed. So, I did a ton of research, looking stuff up, and finally figured out the settings that needed to be changed. And I will put those in the description so you can see the exact settings, which are the same settings that I showed how to do. Anyway, I'm done. You guys take care. We'll see you.